Good morning. Another beautiful day in McGregor at Pikes Peak. If you're joining with me, I am doing a little social experiment to see if the information that I've learned over the years that's helped me in this last season of my life with a pretty heavy depression, with loss and pain, if it helped me get through it, I want to see if this information can help you. So my social experiment to see how this is accepted and if this is something that is worth something to people. I've got some ideas on where I want to take this if it is successful, and maybe even look at a type of a podcast. I thought that would always be cool and fun. So seeing how much traction this gets. But this is day 3 of going live 3 days in a row with different types of information, getting raw, not really going into detail about my personal situations and situation, but more focusing on tools to get yourself out of those kinds of situations and things that can help you along your journey to be successful and to be the best human you can be. Today's topic I'd like to talk about is the 5 love languages, and I picked this topic because yesterday we talked about the 6 basic human needs, and one of those human needs is love and connection. So I thought that it'd be appropriate to talk about the love languages, how we feel and how we give love. And all this information that I've got is things I've gathered from books, podcasts, YouTube videos. I did a lot of research in psychology because I've always wanted to know as a young man, why do I do the things I do? Why do I think the way I think? And when I discovered the book, The 5 Love Languages, it's one of those books that revolutionized my thinking. And one thing to understand is that we all speak a language of love, meaning we feel love when certain people or animals or whatever it might be speak our language. So one of the love languages is touch. And so you might have an animal that as soon as you get home jumps on your lap and wags its tail and licks you, and just that warm, fuzzy creature cuddling up to you makes you feel love. I know my wife, she loves her cats. In fact, we have 3 cats, and they're kind of like dogs. One plays fetch, and literally plays fetch and brings it back, but she loves her snuggles. She calls all the cats into bed with us. Come cuddle me, come be with me. But not just animals, but humans too. Carrie and I's love language, actually, they can change over time, but I know my love language, my number 1 is touch, and Carrie's was. I don't know if it still is. It's been a while since she's taken the test, but sometimes it's just somebody close to you, putting a hand on your shoulder, just saying, hey, nice work, or I appreciate you. Some people are huggers. You'll notice the folks that as soon as they greet you, they don't want a handshake, they want a big hug. Those are the folks that feel love by touch. And one of the interesting things about love languages is that we tend to not speak other people's languages. We give the way that we feel love. So in other words, my wife gets in trouble sometimes with hugging people that don't necessarily feel loved with hugs. But she does it because that's what makes her feel loved. So in our minds, I don't mean this in a negative connotation, but by nature, we're selfish people, we're selfish race. And so we tend to get or grab a hold of what we want or what we need. And so unconsciously, we go about our day doing things that will fill our proverbial bucket of love. And so for her, it's, oh, come here, give me a hug. And another touch person, they're going to love that. You're going to speak their language and they're going to gravitate towards you and feel loved. It looks like I'm getting some love now with some hearts. Thank you. But if that person's love language is not touch, you could actually be harming them because they don't want to be touched. I'm not going to throw my buddy under the bus here, but he's not going to be watching, but his love language touch is not on his radar at all. And so every time she demands, you give me a hug, and you just see his face cringe. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. But he knows, because he loves Carrie and I, he knows that that's how she feels loved. So he gives that to her. And so she's happy. So touch is one of the love languages, and it is very important to those who are physical and need that type of love in their life. Number two, or a second love language, these aren't in any particular order. The order is basically how you feel loved, and they'll be in different order for you. But a second love language would be words of affirmation. And those, that type of love is telling somebody, I'm proud of you. You did a good job. You make me smile. You sure are a nice person. They're basically just kind words, but they affirm that person. They make that person feel that somebody cares, that somebody's watching, that in a way, you matter. And I care about you, and I'm thinking about you. For somebody that has that love language, that can be extremely detrimental if you take that from them or do the opposite. So in other words, why do you always screw up? And what's wrong with you? You can't seem to do anything right. You failed this time, you're failing again. Sorry, I got to keep moving this. The sun is just right on my back. And so that can be detrimental. So understand that these love languages can also be used to manipulate or hurt people when people are deprived of their love language. So I know that you want to be touched, cuddled. I know that you need words of affirmation, but I withhold that from you, or I do the opposite. So words of affirmation. Another love language, acts of service. Those are the folks that really enjoy coming home to a nice house. Somebody cleaned. You vacuumed for them. You, picked up the house or cleaned out the car. Basically doing something for someone else. It could be at work. You took care of something that was on their plate that they needed taken care of. Acts of service can be a very powerful love language when given to somebody that you care about. And when I use the word relationship is how we describe when we're interacting with another person. So it doesn't necessarily denote somebody of major significance, but it can. But it could really mean just your coworkers. You're in a relationship with them as somebody that works with them. So understand, we have many relationships in our lives. And so how you treat other people is how they'll receive love. These stairs get me every time. every video, I huff and puff up these stairs. But I'm dawning a new era here where I'm pushing myself to be a better person in a lot of different areas. And one of them is getting back on track with cardio, working out, eating healthy. Overall, it makes you feel better. That's not much, but it's enough to make me out of breath. Acts of service. Another love language, fourth love language, quality time. Some people feel love when they just know you're there. You want to watch a movie together? You want to go out to eat? When you hear people say that, you might be inclined to say, it's been a long day. I'm tired. But you're withholding their love language. So if you really are tired, if you really are spent, that's understandable. Self-care has to be at the top. Because think about an airplane losing cabin pressure. The first thing they tell you is to put the oxygen on yourself. Because if you don't, you're no good to anybody else. So self-care is the most important thing. But if you hear people asking you to do stuff, it's because that's probably their love language. And they want to spend time with you, and that's how they feel loved. So next time you brush that off, be thinking, if that's a relationship that you enjoy, a friendship that you love, be careful and think about that, because they might need that. And withholding that can make them feel that their love proverbial bucket, isn't getting filled. And when you fill somebody else's bucket, they love you. And love is a loose term. There's a lot of different types of loves. Maybe that'll be another episode, talking about all the different types of love. But you speak their love language, you're going to get their attention, and they're going to love you. And as human beings, it's important that we love and take care of each other. The fifth love language, I put this one on the bottom because this is my least love language, but it's like one of my wife's top love languages, gifts. I don't care about gifts. Don't give me anything. If I want something, I can get it. Spend time with me, be close with me. Those are my types of love languages. But gifts, some people, their love language is a gift, and with my wife's love language being gifts, she loves bringing in little things for her girls and even guys at work. If it's a little bit of food, or it's a little trinket, or it's something to hang up, or something that reminds her of you, she is a gifts person, because when she gets gifts, she feels so special and feels love. So not even thinking, we all do this. She gives everybody gifts, thinking, oh, I got you something. She just went to Florida, and she's like, oh, I got you this hat. I like it. I do. But when she said, I got you something, I humored her, and I said, oh, you're so sweet. Well, she is sweet, but that's not my love language. So it's like, oh, you got me something. That's nice. You thought about me. But I missed you, and I want to be close to you with quality time and touch. I want to hold your hand and maybe kiss a little. TMI. But those are my love languages. So if she wanted to do better next time, honey, I hope you're watching this. If she wanted to do better next time, no need for gifts. Just spend quality time with me, watching a movie and laying in bed together and holding hands and just being close. That's how I feel loved. So those are the 5 love languages. This isn't going to be a very long video because that's kind of a short and quick explanation of all of them. But I encourage you to get online and take the love languages quiz, because it can make a huge difference in your relationships. Because once you study somebody and you learn what their love language is, when you speak that, you automatically become close to their heart, whether they recognize it or not. You've just made an emotional connection with them, and emotional connections are really powerful, and it's what makes relationships so beautiful. Come on now, son, work with me. So take that quiz, and then do me a favor, because I really enjoy this interaction. I'm really having a great time interacting with you folks. I've met so many new people on making new friends, and I've had so many people reach out and encourage me, saying this video is so helpful, thank you, and encouraging me and saying keep up the good work, keep your head up, and saying things like we love you, and all those things. So wonderful. So I enjoy doing this. So I want to know what your love language is. If I know you, even if I don't know you, that way if I meet you, I know how to speak your language, and I can make you feel loved and have a better day. Tonight, if this is interesting to you and you enjoy this content, like I said, I'm going to be probably growing this a little bit more and continue to see where this goes, and maybe move over to YouTube, and even we got some podcasting material. I've got a camera and a microphone, and so what I'm going to do tonight is, for the rest of my social experiment, is I'm going to get on and do some Q&A. So I want to, Nin, oh my God, Rob, you're sweet. Nin, I tell you, I laughed so hard yesterday with those messages back and forth. Oh, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. But so tonight I will announce it at 5 o'clock, because I don't know the timing yet. I don't want to interfere with my wife. She's got to be up early for work. And maybe she even might want to join in with some Q&A. So about 5 o'clock, I'm going to announce on Facebook on my page here. It's just my personal page. I haven't done anything fancy. But I'm going to announce at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time when I'll be doing the Q&A. But if I had to guess, I'd probably say about 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30, right after dinner. I'd like to get on, use my equipment, and go live on Facebook again in my home, and interact with you guys personally in answering your questions, and maybe even I'll grab another topic and see if that's interesting to anyone. If nothing else, I'll just sit there and blab and talk, and maybe it'll be something that interests you. But feel free to chime in. Pay attention, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll announce when I'm going to get on live, and then hopefully we'll have a few people that just want to say something or ask some questions, and maybe I can help. Go back and watch my other videos if you haven't. The last 3 days, I've been sharing information about where I've been and what's been going on with me, and how much I love psychology and understanding why humans do and think the way that they do. And so I want to share those things with you that will hopefully help you through your journey. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great day today, and I love you all.